Good to get back at it today. Had a good practice. Again, continue to love the weather in late November to be able to practice in weather like that's awesome. Bye week was great. You know, it's kind of get back, check in with everybody. Seems like we all had great chance to recharge and kind of refill the tanks for this stretch run here of 6 games to try to go earn the right to go play a 7th, and that's what it's all about. So we're excited for that, and I can take any questions you guys may have.
Yeah, Kurt, what are over the bye week, the self-scout, what are some of the things that caught your attention?
I think, first of all, you kind of talk about what are we doing well, and of the things we're doing well, are we doing it enough? Sometimes you find things you say, boy, that's been a really effective play or scheme for us, and yet it's not something we've been leaning on as much as of late. And then there's also things you say, boy, I didn't realize that was as effective as it was, and so let's do that. Or things that maybe haven't been as good that you say, okay, we maybe need to emphasize that less. I think you also just kind of talk about the whys behind everything. Why are we where we are? Good, bad, and then how to fix it or improve it or to keep doing it. So it's always just good to go back and kind of be introspective and analyze and come up with some good answers, and then it's one thing to talk about, it's another thing to go do it, and that's what's so important is the next 6 weeks is that we take what we gather on the bye week and put it to use and let it show up in the results more than just talking about it.
That kind of like, okay, this is our bread and butter.
Yeah, I think there's some of that. I think there's some of that to say, hey, here's what we can lean on. Here's what we can take to the bank. Here's what we feel is our identity at the end of the day. And you kind of have a sample size large enough now to be able to truly size that up and objectively have it rather than just kind of subjectively have an opinion on it.
Keep this stuff and throw out the wishbone.
Yeah, there's some of that. I think you always kind of do that on the bye week is, hey, we got to emphasize this more. Or, hey, it's also personnel. It's, hey, this guy is somebody we got to feature more. Or this personnel grouping is something we got to feature more. Or this scheme has been really good for us, or this hasn't been as good for us, or this could be better for us. So, and here's why it hasn't been as good, but we think if we can fix this, it will be. So you have all those good discussions that sometimes week to week you don't have the time to really go back and do a deeper dive. You just have to kind of keep going forward.
You're someone who can be very hard on yourself. Is it difficult going into a bye week where, you have to force yourself to take time off and deal with the
it is.
Your family, but
yeah, it is. It's you always want to kind of finish on a positive going into the bye week, and because we didn't do that, it is hard. But you also know the importance of catching your breath, because I do know how long an NFL season is with 17 games and the need on the bye week to kind of recharge so that you are ready for the whatever games you have left. So I kept reminding myself of that this past week, and I thought it was a great week. I thought it was a great week for me, for my family, and I think we handled the week in a way that should help me feel really good about this stretch run here.
Were you able to kind of remove yourself from football for a little bit?
Yeah. I went back to my hometown, Saugatuck, Michigan. Went over to Michigan State for my first time back for a home game at Michigan State in my entire pro career. So the last time I was there for a home game was my own senior day. But it's good to be back there, and saw the movie Wicked. Yep. And are you going tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's tremendous, Led. I love that. Sang the musical songs in my high school choir, and then saw the musical in college, and then took my boys to the movie. So it's pretty good. They're singing the songs now all the time. So that was good. Change of pace. Don't usually go to a movie on Thursday nights during the season, so that's what we did. And watch football. You get the chance to kind of just sit back and watch and observe some things. It's very interesting what you can pick up on when you're just watching and not playing. And it was a good time off.
Can you sit and watch a movie and not think about football? Or like in the middle of singing, you're like, oh man, I wish we had done.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. I think the thing I was doing in the theater was I was singing along, so I was waiting for my wife to nudge me to stop doing that. But when Alphaba goes into The Wizard and I, it's hard not to, and then Defying Gravity, it's hard not to. But I digress. Yes, there is a little bit of making a bonfire outside of my backyard and sitting there looking at the fire and just ruminating on my third down reads and my footwork and decision making and those kinds of things. So it's the way it always will be. But it was a good week.
With Thanksgiving being tomorrow, what are you thankful for?
Thanksgiving being tomorrow, I'm very grateful for the people I get to work with here. As a quarterback, you're so dependent on the people around you, and I'm grateful that I can go to work every day and feel like I have a team around me that gives me a chance to be at my best. I'm thankful for 60-degree days in late November. I'm thankful for my wife and 2 healthy boys and the way they support me. So there is much to be thankful for, and perspective is such a big deal, especially in this job. You can lose perspective pretty quickly and feel down in the dumps pretty quickly, and you have to kind of step back and gain a better perspective to realize how fortunate we are, or I am, to be a professional athlete and do what we do and play a kid's game as a job, and to do it for as long as we have. It's a real privilege, and it's very easy to forget that. So we'll try tomorrow afternoon to discuss that as we sit around and eat and watch football. So yeah.
Kirk, can you share a little bit of your thoughts around the Falcons campaign and the cause through cleats?
Yeah.
And your particular cause?
Sure. My cause, my cleats is this week, so guys are already breaking in their cleats at practice. The cleats keep getting cooler and cooler the way they paint them up. But I'm representing Boys and Girls Clubs of Lanier here in the area. I've represented Boys and Girls Clubs a few times going back several years. There's a chapter in my hometown, and there was one in Minnesota, several in Minnesota where we were. And so that's what I'm doing. I think a couple other guys are as well, but there's so many great ministries, organizations that are making a big impact, and it's sometimes hard to pick between so many great ones. But the people who paint our cleats are really, really impressive what they can do to promote these different organizations.
Kirk, I've been here a few minutes ago talking about the time of the year is really about execution.
Mm-hmm.
Been in the league a long time. How much of a difference is there between, football before Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving, you guys?
Yeah, NFL football is NFL football, and they all count one. So what you did before Thanksgiving still carries the same weight, but you certainly need to put yourself in a position before Thanksgiving to be playing for something meaningful after. And we're in a place where we can control our destiny, and where if we can go out and execute and play at a high level, that we can go where we want to go. And so it's a good feeling to be there, because I've been on teams where early in my career you really weren't in the hunt around Thanksgiving, and that's a tough place to be. So but no one's going to give us anything. We've got to go earn it, got to play at a very high level, and that's what Zach's referring to is the way we have to execute, play in and play out to have a chance.
I noticed you kind of like reading plays in the locker room, just on your phone, just reading them out loud. Just how would you describe your focus level going into this one?
The same as always. I mean, that's kind of what I got to do before every practice, go over the script, before every walkthrough, go over the script, go through my checks, my reads, calling the play, sending the motion, knowing my changes I got to make at the line of scrimmage if something's different. And so just kind of trying to go over everything. In this case, I didn't get a printed script. They just texted it to me, so I'll just keep it on the phone and just go over it on my phone instead of holding it with pen and paper. So just always love, being able to feel like I'm prepared and can own the plan. And that can be as simple as a walkthrough of practice or as big as a game.
I actually went back over the bye week and rewatched the quarterback series. And with you, in Minnesota, working with the psychologist, is that something you've taken up here as well? Yeah,
we have a couple team psychologists do a great job, and I think quarterback is such a mental position, certainly, and so I think there's always something you can learn and glean, and it helps to just have good communication and get good input. And so I've kind of surrounded myself with a lot of people over the years who I feel I can lean on, when you're kind of in a tough spot or even when you're riding high, to be able to kind of stay steady and try to be as consistent as you can with your production, regardless of, what may be going on around you.
Looking at the Chargers defensively, I know Derwin James, it looks like he's back and healthy and playing back there. What do you see from him in that unit? You got both up front,
right,
and the slew of linebackers.
Yes. I mean, statistically, they are highly ranked in it seems like every area of defense. So a lot of respect for them. Coach Minter, his background, he's had a lot of success with some really good defenses. So, it's a challenge for us. But like you said, with Khalil Mack, Bosa, they've drafted well up front. They got some great linebackers. They like you said, Derwin's a great player, Pro Bowler, who just plays the game the right way, plays it hard, and is tough. And so, we got a lot of challenges there, and that's why executing is so important.
Kirk, as the quarterback, to get a player potentially back this week in Drew Dahlman at center,
Yeah.
What would that mean for the unit overall and for the offense? Because it's kind of weird. He's only played two and a half games this year where he's been kind of the centerpiece for the
Right. Yeah, I think Newsell's done a phenomenal job in his absence of handling, the mental side of the game, handling the run game, and then just building a wall. I thought he did a great job in protection where I don't feel a lot of push in my lap from the center position, and that's because he's just done a great job being really stout anchoring for me. And then Drew, has done a great job kind of working back from this injury, and he's so diligent, and he's so just a professional with how he goes about his business that that there wasn't, one day that he could have gotten back faster because he's doing everything he can. And, he's got a great way about him. So with whatever ends up happening, with the reps or with Drew's health, we'll see. But certainly, would love to see him get back to full strength and be able to help us.
Kirk, on the wicked subject, you went on the other day and said, I think it was part of my tape.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
When you're done, you want to be a backup dancer in a musical.
Yeah.
Thought to which one you wanted to be?
Yeah, so another topic I can go way off topic on, but I said a little tongue-in-cheek, but yes, I like musicals, and they do one every summer in my hometown that I always try to get tickets for and go to, and I've seen them all, West Side Story and Cats and Lion King and Wicked, but the one I grew up on that's my OG is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. My mom took me to Chicago, got us seats in the 4th row when I was 7 years old, and we saw Donny Osmond as Joseph. And it was so good, she got tickets and we went back. So that's what I grew up on. Great, tremendous story, but they did a great job telling the story and the music. And so that's kind of the one I want to show my boys, but it's just not as common. So I need to Google, where is Joseph, the musical, being performed? And we may have to this off season, get on a plane and fly to see it just so I can have my boys see it. But that would be my preferred one. Maybe I can make a big enough donation to the Performing Arts Center in my hometown that I get to dictate what musical they have, and maybe we can do that. We'll see.
Did I hear you say you were high school choir?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Are you the only football player in that choir?
I don't know. That's another topic. I brought this up back in the day. So I said to my rookie year, this came up, or second year in the league, and I made a comment. Yeah, I was in the tryout choir. Okay, so you're in the high school choir, right? Everybody makes the team, kind of a thing. Then you can try out for the swing choir, which I tried out for. You get a varsity letter and everything, all right? Big deal. So I made that, right? So I was in that, and that's kind of where I got to sing the Wicked songs and all that. But my teammates kind of looked at me like, what? Kind of to your point. And I said, well, where I was from, our choir teacher was the man. He was just the man. So I said it was cool to be in the swing choir. And they all looked at me, and I remember, I'll never forget, the one guy goes, it's not cool anywhere to be in the swing choir. And I just kind of tucked my tail and walked away. But I will stand on that. That where I went to high school with our choir teacher, Mr. Bill Bird, it was cool. He was the man. And so I was in the swing choir for 3 years, and had a great time.
So you were Glee before Glee?
I lived Glee. I lived Glee, probably with slightly less drama. Yep. So we had fun with it, and I love music. My mom raised me to love music. My brothers loves music, and my sister, and big part of our family. But certainly football's a bigger part. So, all right.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
I got a food question for you, man.
I love it.
Yeah, you're in the South, so choose wisely.
Yeah, well said.
Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
I don't really know if this is a trap question. I probably grew up more with sweet potato casserole and pumpkin pie. So I don't know if that's a political answer, but I kind of grew up with both. I just had our O-line coach who's having a few of us over Thursday night. He said, pecan pie or pumpkin pie? And I said, I felt like it was a trap question. I said, well, we're in Georgia, so I feel like a pecan pie is the way to go. I said, if you do pumpkin pie, I'm not going to be upset because that's what I grew up with. But I'm like, he walked away. He's like, it's going to be pecan pie. So he kind of had a decision made before he asked. But, yeah, it's the best, right? Thanksgiving, the food, the time with family. But we got to get our work in tomorrow before we go enjoy that meal. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kirk.